good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Brutal Nerds guide on how to no-hit DS2 with the Homeward Spell, including my routing, some of my strats, of course a lot of strats that I have learned from other hitless runners themselves. I personally watched Vahi's run on YouTube at my run. And then I added in, of course, lots of little different tidbits that worked best for me from other no-hit runners of DS2 as well. So I really want to just share with you how to get it. Despite you might think you might not have the skill, you can, and you absolutely will, with just sheer determination and a lot of practice. So yeah, I want to share my route and how I did my run. I think it is a very slow run and safe run, so if that's kind of like the route that you're looking for, this is for you. If you're looking for a quick route, this is definitely not the run that you want to be watching for a guide. This is more of a like taking everything nice and safe to ensure the best chance to get the run. That's how I played it. I played it very safe towards the end, basically. I did end up with 7 1-hit PBs before I actually got my run, so there was some great consistency towards the end, that's for sure. So I would like to share this VOD and guide with you guys, and I hope you really enjoy it. We're going to watch it from the Twitch VOD. There will be no audio due to I played way too much metal on the stream that run, and YouTube is just going to flag it all. So it will be silent for the most part, apart from my talking you through the strats and what I'm doing in the one, and I apologize for that, but if we need some audio cues, I'll try to unmute the VOD as well during that. So let's get started, guys. So this is the run that we actually got the run, unlike 2 days before when I thought I got it and I did not. So this bit we can probably speed on through a bit here. Let's get ourselves to the house. This is the best thing about doing it from a Twitch VOD too. At least we can speed bits up and slow bits down if we need to. So of course we just go to things betwixt first and get our character creation done. So what you need to do is make sure that you, well, for my route, grab the Explorer class. And also grab the bonfire aesthetic. This is very, very important that you grab that aesthetic. This is surprisingly was the first time I ever really bothered making a character. I never do. I'm usually way too lazy because I just want to get another run started. I thought it was hilarious that this is the run that I actually made a character. So let's speed this back up, guys. So first you want to light this bonfire. You want to definitely grab this item. It contains the torch and a soul. The torch we're definitely going to need for places like the wharf. We just make our way to Medulla then. Run all the way to Medulla, every single run. Oh my lord. But we won't speed up Medulla too much because there are some items I grab on my run, which is going to be important for soul counts, guys, so you can get the same levels as me. So firstly, what we're going to grab is the Divine Blessing by this tree, which I believe gives us 600 souls at Gavlin. We're going to drop down on this right-hand side, and we're going to grab the chime, and I can't even remember what the other thing is. It's a weapon, and then we've also got the binoculars. The chime we are going to use, and the other 2 items we're going to sell to Gavlin also. So light your bonfire in Medulla. Have a quick talk to Emerald just to get some of her script done. And then we go by and we grab this soul, an item here. We do a little bit of our soul shopping here. So then we go up towards the Champion Covenant, and we also grab 5 free Homeward Bones. We're going to sell most of them, but they're also very handy to have with us, which I'll talk a little bit about later on why we want some Homeward Bones, despite I get the Homeward Spell. Next, we're just going to grab from this well the Estus Flask Shard, which we are also going to sell to Gavlin. and then we go and see the merchant. Good old Gary. So we're going to go up this ladder, and we are going to grab the Titanite shard from the chest. It's free, grab it, and then we are going to kill the merchant. Now we need to kill the merchant to have his armor so that we gain extra souls from everything that we do, all the enemies that we kill and the bosses that we kill. So it's very important that you grab this armor as soon as you get to Majula. Equip it straight away is my best strat, otherwise I forget before Dragon Rider. And when you do so many of these runs one after another, you can forget even the stupidest things, so just equip it straight away. I take off items I'm not going to use. I equip my Homeward Bones, and I use the 2 little souls that I've picked up. Next we're going to see the cat. Whilst I'm here, I buy 6 alluring skulls. Now I use a lot of skulls in Forest, and people have given me shit about it. But I will explain why when we get there. I have to tell you 100% early resets are the worst. So if I can minimalize early resets, it's the best thing for my mentality and the best thing to make my runs feel good if I get a good run going first run of the stream. So I do over skull use, but I really don't give a shit. You can give me all the crap you like. It gets me through Forest nice and safely. So all right, so now we're heading towards the Dragon Rider Cheers. I pick up these items here as well due to selling them and also having the soul. I run to the left of this guy. Now this guy, I kind of run towards him so it kind of baits him and then skirt around him. Be very careful, he can hit you in the back. I do grab those 2 items there. I believe it's a soul and an effigy. We can use the soul and sell the effigy. Then we make our way to Dragon Rider, always watching your stamina. If you're not aware with Dark Souls 2, if you fully deplete your stamina, there is a period of time that you cannot run again. It's very important to never deplete it fully in Dark Souls 2, unlike some of the other Souls games, where despite it depletes, as soon as it regens, you can just reuse it. Now I'm just going to go back a little bit here and let's go through the Dragon Rider Cheers. Why does it go so far back? Okay, here we go. Let's slow this down a little bit and talk about it. So everyone does this slightly different. Now, when I first started doing this fight, I had a lot of trouble learning it for some reason. Everyone has their cues a little bit differently. But for me, I count. I go straight into the fog gate, center mast, and then I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps and run. So it's kind of like in that timing, and run. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but that is how I time it. The other thing you will notice is that I will direct my head towards that exact corner on this right side here, if you can see it. And for some reason, just changing that tilt of my head made me much more consistent with the Dragon Rider Cheers. So we've got it slowed down now, so let's just watch this fight. And run. So then I run straight for that corner and it perfectly times him off. So that's what you want to aim for. There are different ways this has been done. I see lots of people do it different ways, but if you're following this guide, that's the best I can explain it for you. So now we light this bonfire here, and the first thing, of course, we're going to do is buy from this lady the Homeward Spell. This is for Forlorn invasions. Then we're going to kill her and knock her off the edge because she can invade you later game. And she drops some nice items that we can sell to Gavlin as well. Now, people have their flexing that they never used Homeward Spell, etc, etc, but I did have it confirmed that it is allowed to be used on Dark Souls 2. I was running the game for about, I would say, the 4 months without it, and it's only been the last few weeks that I started using it. maybe the last 2 weeks, and I've been running the game for 4.5 months. I had Forlorn kill my run twice in one day, and I just really got jack of it. I got so sick of Forlorns. You know, I dealt with them with the Homeward strats on YouTube, but because I was getting so consistent to end game, I was getting really pissed off about if Forlorn killed a run. So when we get back to Majula here, we just pop all of our souls that we have. And then I'm going to talk to Emerald, and we are going to level up 7 attunement. Sorry, excuse me. We're on 7. We're going to level it to 10 attunement, and we're going to level dexterity to 12 so we can equip the rapier. Perfect. Now we make our run towards the forest. I'll explain all of my damn skull throws for you. Alright, so we just make our way through here, open the door. Now while the door's opening, I make sure that I equip the skulls and that they're on, and I make sure that they're on right next to my magic urns, which you will see why very shortly. So equip them next to that, so it's very quick to swap to the magic urns. We're going to run on through, and we're going to take a jump here and grab this free soul here. It also has another Homeward bone that we can use. Now, my first skull throw is the most hilarious because most people just run this, right? But I've been hit by this first archer enough times to piss me off on resets. So I throw a quick skull here and run on through, and he's firing over there. I don't even have to worry about him. Like, it just makes it so comfortable to get through here. So as much as people are giving me shit about that skull throw, I don't care. It saves a reset for me, so that's why I do it. We throw a skull here, of course, so that we have time to get through this fog gate. We then throw another skull here, which some people also don't do, but it attracts all these little hollows to our left and in the room towards it so that we can safely just roll through these boxes. And then we throw our next skull here. So we throw this one here to avoid this archer and the hollows that are going to come behind us. And then one last skull to the right of the ladder to distract them while I get up the ladder. Now, when you go to this door, this hollow will come out. So I get my urns ready and I just kill him so that I don't have to worry about him. And then I pick up some more urns here. Now, you can be followed straight away by a hollow up that ladder. And that's why I grab the extra urns. Because if he comes towards me, he's one urn to the face and he's dead and there's no stress. It's comfortable, there's no silly resets early, and I get through it nicely. If you wish, you can run straight for the bonfire. You can throw a skull at that door to the left, but this is the way I've done it to make it more comfortable for me. Now, I have just bought a club. Let's just like slow this down just slightly a little here. We'll just see this quickly again. Sorry about that, guys. Now, when I do go in, you notice I rest at the bonfire too, just to make sure no one does follow me in here. Just to be sure everyone is reset. So we go to Valencia and we will buy 1 club. We then buy the key for the blacksmith, and then we buy 41 fire bombs. 41, not 40, 41. Because then we've spent 10k at Valencia, and she will give us the ring that she gave us, which is the serpent ring, to receive extra souls. Then what I do is exhaust her dialogue, so that she will move to Majula. We equip our club on our second spot, our serpent ring, and we equip our fire bombs. We then get our club ready. Now the clubs are solely used basically for lizards and lizards only. We get our magic urns ready in case the lizard is a bastard. It takes 3 hits to break this door. We lock on, and you do 2 running R1s to kill the lizard. If you don't do them straight away and you hesitate, the lizard will run off and possibly despawn on you, and you have to keep bonfiring to get the lizard back. I then pick up both items that are on the ground here, open the chest and grab those, and then we also just open this door, do a small drop, and grab the divine blessing as well. Now I've grabbed all of these items solely to sell to Gavlin for more levels, because we are going to be using the Homeward Spell. We need the levels in attunement and faith to be able to use that spell, and it's extremely important that we also have the ADP for Rotten, so I'm trying to get kind of as much souls as I can. We come back to Medulla now, and we will grab our bow. We rest at the bonfire just to reset the area, so the blacksmith is inside his little house. And here next what we will do is we will buy our rapier, we will buy 50 iron arrows, and we will buy 21 wood arrows, and we will upgrade our rapier ×2. Then what I'm going to do is equip my rapier in my first slot, bow in the third, and make sure I equip my arrows. Then we get our rapier ready, and we're going to head back to the forest and make our way to the last giant. So we just make our way down the ladder. We will kill the hollow to our right first, who's sleeping. He can take 1 to 2 hits depending. We switch to our bow, and we then range this hollow here with 2 arrows and a magic urn. The reason why I do a magic urn is because I'm out of stamina by the time I use 2 arrows, and these guys are fast as hell. So you want them not to get close to you to stab you. We kill this sleeping dude here. You can see I quickly grab the item. Drop any, grab any dropped loot items at this point before Gavlin, because we're just going to sell all of it. It's just extra free souls. So we do loot up until Gavlin. Get yourself nicely tucked behind this tree from the archers below, and then we'll do 2 to 3 arrows to this hollow here to get him out of the way. Then we're going to firebomb these barrels. Now the turtle hasn't come towards me. Now I just want to explain a little thing about this turtle, because he is a literal asshole. So he can be the easiest thing and you just run past, he doesn't hit you at all. But he can hit you in the back at times, and it's super frustrating. Another early reset we want to get rid of. Now a really good strat I have found, if it works at the time, is throw a firebomb to aggro him, but not to blow out the barrels, if you can. Because then when he starts walking towards the barrel, you blow up the barrels, land him on his back, and it's even safer to run to the ladder, okay? But that doesn't happen every time depending on your throw. So if not, we blow up the barrels, we get him aggroed, and then wait until he's about in line with the blown up barrels to our right that we see here. Then that way you run past, and also roll at the last minute just to be safe, to get past him, and then we're heading up the ladder. Okay. So I'm waiting till he gets a bit close there. So this time we're super safe. He was not going to hit us, but sometimes he does a swing instead of an overhead, and he will get you in the back. Now here, make sure you drop on the first level, not to the ground. You will die if you drop to the ground. I grab a green blossom here for solely just selling it. And then we want to blow up all of these barrels with the fire bombs to clear our path. I then pick up this life gem and another bone. And then we're going to archer these 2 hollows here from a nice safe distance. Beautiful. Okay. We're nearly at the last giant. Now, last giant on my run, he was super jumpy and spicy, so it's going to be hard to explain how easy his RNG can be, but I got a little bit of spicy RNG. He was a little feisty on this run. But I'll try and explain it as best as I can. Now, you must pick up those fire arrows that I just picked up and open that door, because I will explain after this fight why you should definitely open the door despite we don't go back through it 99.99% of the time. Now, once again, we arrow this guy 2 times and then bomb him just due to the stamina and just so he doesn't get close to me. We're going to magic resin and we're going to make our way into the last giant. So when we go in, we just cut the scene. We go in behind him. He does a swing. 1, 2, 3 hits. Now, normally, we go the right foot, hit. And then normally, right? Normally, we then go right foot, wait for him to stomp, hit again. Right foot, wait for him to stomp the left foot, go back and hit the left foot again. And you just repeat that over and over until he does the arm break. Then it's 1, 2, 3, 4 hits in the left leg. Wait at the left leg till your stam regens. Then when he goes to stomp his left leg, move to the right leg to be safe. And then finish him off on his left leg with 2 hits. You may have to rewatch that a couple of times to get that in your head. But he was very jumpy in this, so we're dealing with a bit of different RNG here. Okay, so he's done another swing because he's jumped back, so I can get another 2 free hits in. And he jumps again. Thanks, last giant. So we go through, he will do a, nope, he's gonna do a stomp. So we get away from that big hitbox. He does another swipe, and now I'm gonna try and get his RNG back. Here we go, hit. But now the arm breaks happen. So that means we get our 4 free hits. We wait for our stem, move while he does a stomp, and finish him off. Perfect. So you won't get the perfect RNG every time, so it's always best to practice all of his moves that he can do. Now, here's why we open the gate. You can come out of this fight and find the turtle standing right at the end of this like alleyway from the lift. Sometimes he drops down in front of you. So always just have a, it's only happened twice in 4.5 months, but always just have a quick look that the turtle's not there. If he is, just bone out and come through the door that you've opened. Now I just kill this little hollow here and I grab this shield, etc. Just literally to sell to Gavlin, again, just for souls because I'm doing Homeward Spell on this route. So now we're going to make our way to the Pursuer split. Quite aggressively kill these hollows, get right in and close or they will smack you. Or alternatively, you can wait to see their attack and then go in. But I do it quite aggressive for these hollows. I just get straight in there. We have 1, 2, and a third that we need to bait down towards us. I bait him down the stairs because there is an archer up to our right, as you may know. So we bait him down and then we get our bow ready and we will safely take out the archer from on the stairs. Beautiful. So then we go up here and I also grab the soul up here and just check if he's dropped any items I can loot as well. And then we're on to the Pursuer. So we're just going to slow this down again. Let's have a look at the Pursuer fight. Once we're in, what I aim for is the middle of the wagon wheel. So run straight towards that. I then turn to face the Dragon Rider and roll just as he's about towards me. Run. And then pull the ballista twice. Just spam that X button like there's no tomorrow. Now I also use a bit of an audio cue here. After he sort of stops his large sort of breath sound, that's kind of when I roll as well. It takes a little bit of practice. It was a very big reset boss for me early game for quite some time, but I did get more and more consistent at him. And you will find with things in DS2, with like opening doors, ballistas, etc., you don't have to particularly be exactly behind the object for the prompt of use or close to work. So with the ballista, when you run to it, it's sort of really be looking for that prompt to use and just spam the shit out of it as soon as you can. That is ideal, basically. You don't have to be directly behind the ballista for it to begin. Now we're going to speed this up just a little bit. So we head our way to Bastille. I grab the Ember, of course, for the blacksmith, and then I also grab the effigies because they're worth 1500 selling to Gavlin. I'm going to make my way back to Majula. We're going to crush all the souls that we have. We might even be able to 2-speed this. Let's try 1.5. Now this is where I will level the faith to 18. This is for the Homeward Spell. Straight to 18. We now have the levels to use the Homeward Spell at Bastille because that's where the Forlorns first begin in this route. Now we equip the Homeward Spell straight away so we don't forget. Then I kill this NPC solely for souls and to sell his ring. That's all. To get the levels that I want before Rotten. And he's so easy to kill. Do 4 hits, wait for your stem to regen because he won't aggro. Another 4 hits, and then 1 last hit and he will die. He's not too bad if you watch your stamina. Now I'm going to buy 4 small Titanite shards. The spear. And I'm going to reinforce my bow once. You'll see there's souls enough to do it more, but just do it once because we need the souls for other stuff at this time. Then we're going to go and visit the cat again. And we are going to buy the cat ring. And we're also going to buy the rest of the skulls that are left out of the 10, which will be 4. The 4 skulls. We can probably speed this up too, I reckon. Then I make my way to Things Betwixt, and we're going to go and kill the ogre because he drops the stone ring, and I would prefer to have the stone ring quite early due to the poise it breaks and it like staggers enemies. So I like to have that even for Bastille. But the main reason why we get the stone ring is for Amana, and of course if you're going to deal with the Forlorn, to not use Homeward Spell for Forlorn. So we just do him nice and safely from a distance. Equip it straight away so you don't forget, like Brutal does on this run, I believe. We also pick up that item that was just there because it's a gold pine resin, nice and early. And I just also equipped the very basic cheap cleric chime and Homeward Spelled my way back to Majula. Then what we do is equip 3 bright bugs. Sorry, not equip, buy. And now that sort of housekeeping is done, I make my way back to Bastille. We arrow this guy nice and safely from this position. He has ants in his pants, this guy. He moves so much. He's so frustrating. Now this little bit here, walk nice and slow so the hollow can't hear you. and he won't move, we grab these items because there's a large Titanite shard. And then give him some headshots hidden behind here. We then move the barrel and blow up the dogs. Make sure there's no remaining dogs. Pick up any items that they drop so we can sell them. And then we aggro the chest so that, well, not aggro the chest, but we go to the chest so that we aggro the pursuer out. Wait till he disappears, and then we grab all of the items from that chest. Make your way up the ladder. Now you will notice that I've got my bones on my items. Now the reason we do that is so that basically you will always see your bone grey out before you get the prompt on your screen saying you have been invaded by Forlorn. So it's a good indicator to see that, okay, he's going to invade, and you can be super early prepared to just Homeward Spell back to the bonfire. Another thing that fades out with Forlorn invasions is a bright bug, if you happen to have that equipped as well. So that's why we have that there. Now, next we're going to kill this next enemy by blowing up a barrel, and we will discuss for you the best timing to do that. So he's going to walk his way up these stairs, and the best time to use a fire arrow with this guy is when his feet reach the top of the stairs. When you see his feet, shoot the fire arrow. Perfect. And he will just go back off and not waste any arrows, because we don't have a lot of arrows at this point. Now the trigger point for Forlorn is right here. We grab up the gold pine resin, and our bone has not grayed out, so we're not going to get a Forlorn in Bastille, which is great. Now with this guy there near the barrel, you need to arrow him in the back from that distance, or you can run up and sort of like nudge him and run away, and he will follow you. If you do any sort of other different moves with him, he will most likely break your barrel that you need to open the blacksmith bonfire. So don't do either of those. Now when he's nice and close, I usually just throw fire bombs at him because they do more damage than arrows, and I have plenty of them from what I spent at Valencia. I also make sure I grab the large Titanite shard that was on the body where I just was. We're then going to run our way down, and do I get a barrel meme on this run? I can't remember, there's been so many. So push the barrel down to blow up the bonfire. Oh, perfect, we didn't have a meme. Now, a couple of things I want to explain with these dogs. Now, these dogs are scary as all shit, okay? They run at you so fast. If they're not aggroed, you can slowly creep and arrow them. You've got stone ring on, it's fairly safe, so you can do that. If they're running at you, I cannot reiterate this enough. If you are too close to the right wall, even if you are locked onto the dog, you will throw a firebomb at the wall and not the dog. And that has gotten me hit at least 3 times, and it's a real pain in the ass. So if they're aggroed and you're going to firebomb them, keep left of the wall. Try to use lock on as soon as you can. If not, if they're not aggroed, just use arrows and take them out with your stone ring and arrows. So let's see how these doggies go. They can take 2 to 3 arrows. I do 3 just to be safe. Okay, so we've aggroed the other. I'm staying away from the wall, and we're going to throw a firebomb at this guy. Beautiful. 1 firebomb takes a dog out. Then we're going to light this bonfire, and we're going to speak to the blacksmith and give him the ember. I'm just equipping my wood arrows because I've now run out of my iron arrows, so just keep an eye on that as well. Pick up every single thing out of all of these chests. Beautiful. And we talk to Mr. Blacksmith, who's so rude to us. We give him the ember. Now here what we want to do is upgrade fully what we can our rapier. That's the easiest to remember. So it's a +5. The bow goes to a +3. So upgrade them till they fade out and there's no more. Then we want to buy whatever we can in iron arrows left of what souls we have left. Okay, so that's just buy whatever you can and use up what souls you have left. Easy enough to remember that. You can get anything from like 9 to 14 or something like that. Now I light my torch here and I get him to move off the chest, because what we solely want to do is just grab the twinkling titanite out of the chest because it sells for 1500 at Gavilan. Again, I'm trying to get those early souls for my ADP because I've spent souls on 3 levels of attunement and 13 levels of faith that most people don't do in their runs and that I never used to either. So what I'm trying to do is get my ADP still at a good amount for the rotten fights coming. So we just grab what's in that chest and then we head to things betwixt. Once again, same reason for souls. I was looking for ways to get early souls. We'll speed this up. So I just kill the Firekeeper. She takes 4, wait for stem 1, 2. We get 3 effigies, which is worth 4,500 at Gavilan. And then another 1,500 for this effigy here. That's all I'm doing it. Now I do it after I've upgraded the rapier, because otherwise she aggroes and she'll probably hit me with her ladle. So try to do it after the weapon upgrade. Everything I do is for a reason. It's due to I've practiced out the strats and it either hasn't worked or not worked. So this is why it's how I do it. Now we grab the monastery charm, again looting. We're going to run straight up ahead here and loot more items. Effigies, souls, a halberd. Now we wait here till he comes close and then we just run straight past him. It's really nice and safe. And now we're heading our way to the wharf, guys, to see Gavilan to sell all of this stuff. While I'm on the lift, I just consume the souls I have. I also unequip my bones and my repair powders because I want to sell some of them to Gavilan. So it's a good time to do it while we're on the lift. Now for ultimate safety, what we do is we kill the archer before we do the run through wharf. It just stops you trying to evade his arrows, not falling off into the water. It's just, I mean, it makes it comfy, right? So why not do it? 4 little arrows, he's dead. We don't even have to worry about him. Then we come back and we light our torch, ready to do the wharf run. So through here, I don't even have to stress, right? Make sure you have skulls equipped. We're going to throw 1 skull right here. Then we're going to run right, avoid the dog, and keep running. Now, this little drop here. Be careful, there is an arrow that can come from this direction from an archer. So this drop needs to be precise, because if you miss it and you drop to the ground, you will die. But we also need to be fairly quick or we could get an arrow to us and take a hit there. The other reason we use the torch, if you haven't run Dark Souls 2 before, is these little monkey creatures we just ran past. They won't come and try and hurt us because we've got the torch lit and they're afraid of it. Okay, so this is where we want to drop here. Safely onto that platform. And then we're going to do our selling to Gavilan. Now I'm going to slow this down just slightly. We sell every weapon that we've picked up except our rapier that's equipped. We do not sell our spear. We need it. That's why we bought it. We've got our chime on. We sell the other chime, binoculars, and the 2 shields we have. We sell all armor except the soul's armor that we are wearing. We then sell the ring of protection, the magic ring. And I've gone, oh shit, I don't have my stone ring. What an idiot. And we sell the cheap serpent ring that we don't need because we have the better one. I sell all of the bolts because they're just useless. I sell all effigies. I sell half of my life gems. We sell the large life gems. Charm, the 2 divines we have. The blossom. I also then sell 5 of the 7 bones that I have. We just keep a couple for the Forlorns. Then we sell, of course, the troches, they're called. And then we sell 1 repair powder, only 1. Do not sell 2. That's extremely important. We sell those items. We sell the Estus, and then we sell the Pharis. Do not sell your ascetic. Do not sell your bright bugs, your resins, and we sell the twinkling titanite. Now, importantly, before you leave, buy 20 all of his poison arrows and buy 6 poison knives. We need those for later game. Then we drop down gently here, go to the door, and then we go through the invisi wall, where we can then pick up from a chest some fire bombs and then a large titanite shard as well. And then we just Homeward Spell out. Next, guys, we're off to the Shaded Woods. I put my stone ring on finally. I re-put on my 1 repair powder and my 2 bones, and I equip my spear. So here we go. Now the spear I basically just used to get the frog through the door. I'd rather he be dead than trying to kill him after the door opens. We also just pick up another bone and life gem here. Sometimes it's a bit of a pain in the ass to get, but I'd rather just have him dead. It makes me feel better about life. We use our fragrant branch for Rosabeth, open this, and throw a skull immediately. This will stop these big testicle dudes coming for you. Now, once you hear an audio cue of the door starting to open, you throw a second skull. That's extremely important. So 2 skulls are used there. First, when you open the lever. Second, when you hear the door opening. Now I just run these guys and then throw another skull towards that building because it lures all of those guys there. And then my last spare skull I throw here to pick up a soul. Might slow this down just a little. Now here we grab the bonfire. Here we go, here's a bone grayed out. So this is a Forlorn, and I've homered bone straight back to the bonfire to despawn Forlorn. Once again, we're gonna shoot the tree. That will make the tree make a sound and attract the ghost enemies towards the tree and not towards us. We run to the left, kind of stay quite left. Aim for this big tree, go right of it, and then head a hard left, and then that's going to take us up towards our next area where we're going to grab a few more things. So we light the bonfire here. Now we go up the little ramp and we shoot this ghost from a really safe distance because he's just going to yeet himself right off. It's really fantastic. Nice and safe, he just dies. And then we can go and safely get ourselves a free titanite chunk out of this chest. Watch where you drop here so you don't go down the hole. Then we make another jump here, and I just break the pot just in case. And then we grab ourselves another free soul here. So the two main items here I want is the chunk, and I want the Chloranthy +1 ring for my rotten fights. And well, the rest of the game really. So here we're going to shoot the first tree. It's really creepy when you see the ghosts go to it. Freaks you out, man, how close they are. The next tree directly in front, and then the very left thick tree you can just see. Run to the very left and listen for those audio cues that they are smashing the trees. As long as you can keep hearing them hit trees, you're pretty damn safe. We open up the chest and grab ourselves our Chloranthy +1 ring, and then we Homeward Spell ourselves out. Beautiful. Okay, so now it's off to Medulla, and we're going to start making our way to our first rotten fight. Wait, we do some leveling first. So we use our souls. We're going to speak to Emerald, and we're going to go for our 19 ADP, which is what we really want. We're going to have 96 agility, so we're hitting that 95 mark. For Rotten 1. Here, we're then going to also reinforce our bow plus 1 more level, and buy 50 wooden arrows. This is going to be for basically the giants and any little enemies on our way to the Rotten. Now you'll see I've just unequipped all of my items. Okay, so what I did was I unequipped all of my weapons, all of my rings, all of my armor. I equipped my life gems back because they were taken off when I put the skulls in that slot. And then I put on the cat ring. Now, trust me, on your run, there's going to be a run, you forget that damn cat ring, and it's going to really piss you off. So may I remember to put on the cat ring. Okay, so now we're going to make our way down to the pit. We have our first fall, which we just use 1 Estus flask and pop a life gem. I fall to the right. We fall to the right again, and then we do a running against the wall, and it will land you on the next platform. Make sure you pop life gems and are full health before this drop. We drop down to the right. Make sure we've got a fair bit of health again. Then we're going to run really fast against the wall again, and we will land on that platform. Then drop at the piece of rope. Grab a free bone. We equip all of our weapons again. All of our rings except for the Souls ring. All of our armor. Change to the club and get ready for lizard number 2. Again, 2 running R1s. So run, R1, R1. Pick it up. Just be wary because sometimes your items will drop down below the bridge. We're going to shoot this guy while we're up here, so it's nice and safe. And pick up more free Homeward bones here as well, guys. Now, the reason why I still grab bones as well, not just because we have Homeward Spell, is because there's going to be times where you really need your Homeward Spell for possible Forlorn, so it's best to use Homewards when you're in an area where you just want to bone back, literally, and you're not evading a Forlorn. Now here what I do is I take my armor off and I put my spear in my second slot. The reason we do that is so our armor doesn't break, rolling through the corrosive pots at the end of the gutter. And we have our spear on for statues. Now some people don't worry about having a spear, they just use the rapier or fire bombs, but I've found it's been the best strat for me because it keeps that distance where I won't get spat at. Now here you'll think, what the fuck is she doing with the torch? Now, this is one of the best strats that were given to me on how to stop the third hollow we encounter hitting me or hitting me in the back. What we do is we sit at the bonfire and get the timer going, and we count down 20 seconds. Now at 20 seconds, they're all in their actors' positions where I want them. So we run the first bridge, run the second bridge, run. Now, hang on, we might need to slow this down a little bit, guys. The gutter sucks. Like, when you're first learning the gutter, everyone is lost and everyone hates it. So, let me see. Here we go. Although this is going to make the time really slow, isn't it? All right, let's speed it back up just for this little bit. So I'm waiting for my... Now, it wasn't at an even number, so I sat again, because I can't count backwards in math on a run. So now we're going to wait down to, I think it's like 40 seconds or something. Right. So here we run the first bridge. I wait for my stamina a little bit and pause. Stamina management is so important in DS2. It's crazy. Then we run the second bridge. Now, what I want to point out to you guys here is I take a really slight pause here to position perfectly, because what we want to do is we want to run off exactly this little piece here. Exactly. And I'll tell you why. If you fall to the right of it, you gravity die. If you fall to the left of it, you get hit by a poison statue in the back. So take that slight second adjustment. It's a bit scary because there's a hollow right in your face, but take that slight second to adjust and make sure you run off that exact position so that neither of those two hits happen. All right, now this is the guide that we do this 20 seconds for, because we can run straight past this dude. So nice and safe, and he doesn't even have time to react to me. That's legitimately what I use the torch strat for. So then we run left of this section here, past the pots, and we're going to drop down off this little poking out ledge here. We drop down, and then we drop behind us. And we smash these pots here because there is a titanite chunk there. Now this place seems so frustrating to learn when you start, but trust me, it becomes one of the easiest runs of the game once you know it. We're going to go straight through the hole and run past these hollows and drop down, turn right, and we're going to just head straight for the ladder. Again, watch your stamina on the management on the ladder. You know, it's going to deplete a lot. Keep it still there because we are going to need to kill a hollow shortly. So don't deplete yourself totally. Just make your way up there, managing your stamina as you go. And then we're going to break these pots and grab ourselves a free soul. And then make our way up this ladder. Now this little hollow up here is a real pain in the ass, to be honest. I do a charged R2 attack. If he's facing you, most of the time it will one-shot him. But if he's not facing you, it won't. He will take 2 hits. So there, I'm lucky. He faces me, a charged R2, he dies. He's annoying because if you don't kill him, he may hit you. If you try to thrust attack him twice, he may actually pull you off and down when there's more hollows below you. So be very careful because it's right on the edge of the platform that he's standing. So always do a charged R2. He may take one little quick more hit to push him off, but just be wary he doesn't push you off with him. Now we've just taken the zip line. And then we're going to fall to the right of this torch that's on the the screen here onto the bridge below. I'm going to run past this hollow and wait for his moves to be finished. He does 1, 2, and kill him. Just so he doesn't follow us. Then I'm going to switch to my spear. And then we're going to just aggro this blow up dude so that he blows himself up. So we run towards him and then around him. He will blow himself up. And my spear is on for this statue right here, because it will spit at you. So we break that statue. Then we equip our bow straight away and we will fall to the right. And we will aim for this hollow that's behind the barrels and shoot him. Now don't dilly-dally here, because there is a bug that can fall down behind you and claw at you. So don't mess about. Don't stand around. Switch to spear. Pick up all 20 of these poison arrows. That's important. Enter the fog gate. And then we're going to head to the very left. Again, spear the statue. And we are going to drop down. We're going to drop down to our right again. Be careful. There is an enemy here. Drop down again. And then we're going to roll real quick so this guy has no chance. Roll through the corrosive pots. And we're safe. Make sure that you pick up this fragrant branch. And that's our gutter run. It's done. Alright, let's speed this back up again, guys. So we go through the fog gate for our way to Rotten 1. Light the bonfire, and I make a quick trip back to Majula. Now what we're going to do solely at Majula is upgrade our bow one more time now that we can, for the giants that we're going to take on after Rotten 1. I'm also going to swap my cat ring for my souls ring for Rotten. That is extremely, extremely important. And put our souls armor back on. The serpent ring, souls armor. Must be on for Rottens. Now we're going to smash all these statues. Right here is a Forlorn trigger point as well. That's why we've got the bone once again on our items. We're going to drop to the right between those two rocks. Come up here, smash these ones. Maybe we should make this a little slower, hey? That might have been a bit too fast. So see these, like 1, 2, 3? Right here is like your Forlorn trigger. So if that bone's going to grey out, it's going to happen like any second now, which it doesn't on this run. And then look for these two markers and drop down gently to this little cave entrance. Beautiful. Now we just smash all these statues. I heal up. Just because if we take any fire in Rotten. And then I aim and throw a firebomb to break these 3 poison statues. Make sure they're all broken so they don't spit at us while we kill the worm. Drop down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back away because then he'll do an attack. 1, 2, or 3. Then we have the next worm. Now, I want you to watch something here. No, he did it good this time. He can sort of go into the ground, guys. So if he sort of, his I don't know, his body goes into the ground, don't try to hit him. Wait again, because I've been memed where I will go over him and then get hit by these statues here. Or I've been actually sucked into the hole, right? And pushed back out and died. It's They can meme you hard, these worms. So do the 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, back off, let them do their attack, make sure their body is definitely in front of you, and then do 1, 2, possibly 3 more hits to kill them dead. Okay, we equip our spear here and we kill these statues, and then we get the fire arrows. Now this is why the fire arrows are so important. We shoot the first and third on our left, and then the far right pit near those statues to kill those, whatever the hell they're called, so they don't come at us on our way to the rotten. I then aim my bow and firebomb those statues so they don't spit at me on the way to the rotten fight, and so it gives me plenty of time to run as well. So then we run and use our fragrant branch on this guy. Don't stabby stab at him because you'll run out of stamina to run because of the NPC behind you. Wait till he's standing up, kill him, light your bonfire, switch to spear, and away we go. We can't sit, we can't rest, we can't do nothing because we have that NPC right behind us. But now he's dead. Now, sometimes he will die, sometimes he won't. So be prepared. If he doesn't die, you need to run. So as you saw there, we kill the first lot of statues, run behind the next, and then a left to avoid poison of the last statue, and we're into our first rotten fight. So he has a 3 attack, the slam attack, his spew attack. What else will we see rotten? What else are you going to throw at us? His swings. And he has 2 AoEs. Now this fight is very important. You're watching stamina all the time. Don't be greedy with rotten. You can get very lazy with rotten and think you can take more hits than you can, and you will just take a hit. You have to perfectly time your rolls too with the ADP. The other thing is the 3 attack can either be a 1, 2, or 3. So you really need to watch that you have enough stamina in case he does 2, 3 attacks in a row. And he's feeling very spammy. Here's one of the AoEs. Now we just roll back and walk a bit to get our distance. Now that AoE has more range behind him than in front of him. So if you happen to be behind him, run even further because it will get you. The grab, I roll totally away from it. I hate the hitbox. I don't feel like it's safe. I just stay clear of rotten when it comes to the grab attack. There is another overhead AoE, and we may see it in our other rotten fights. So we'll keep on going. So now we're going to break all these left statues, and we're making our way down to kill both giants for the forgotten key so that we can get the key to Shulver. So my route takes the Shulver route, mostly because I'm too chicken shit to do extra bosses. I don't want to do Najka and Flexile and like Magus and Friends, you know, and more possible Forlorns, like, so I did the Shulver routing. That's where we go to the DLC. We go to the DLC because we need Bonfire Aesthetics for more Rottens, and we get the Flynn's Ring while we're there as well. So here I'm just equipping my Poison Arrows, Iron Arrows, and getting my Homeward Bone ready. We're going to run and keep to the right and take ourselves inside this little ledge on the right. We then do 4 poison arrows in each giant twice over, and we kill them off. So we're going to speed this up, guys, the giants. They have such big health bars that it's best to just use the poison arrows. Now you might think, why not just throw some poison knives too, Brutal? Well, I did that once, and I found out that the more you throw, the further you move backwards, and I fell to a gravity death. So use arrows, it's much, much safer. Do not use knives. Beautiful. And then we warp ourselves back to the bonfire. And then we're going to head ourselves to Majula. We're going to consume all of our souls. I'm then going to buy just one bright bug for now from Valencia. And then we're going to level up 30 ADP, 20 dexterity, and 10 endurance. That's really easy to remember. 30, 20, 10. 30 adaptability, 20 dexterity, and 10 endurance. Then we're going to head our way to meet Duff. And we are going to buy 3 large Titanite shards. Upgrade our rapier as high as we can, which is to a +7. And then we're going to buy 100 arrows, the iron arrows. This will be for Shulva. Then we're back to Majula. And once again, guys, what am I doing? I'm checking that I upgraded. Did I level my stats? Brutal has the worst memory. So once again, all armor off, all rings off, all weapons off. Equip cat ring. Do not forget your cat ring. And now we're going to make our way back into the pit, just a little way down to grab the key to open up the Shulva DLC. Get your life gems ready. Speed this up a bit for you guys. So again, drop, drop to the right, run against the wall, heal up, make this drop, and then we go straight up this ladder. We've got our forgotten key from the giants to open the door. We grab the dragon talon for Shulva, and we just bone ourselves out. Put our weapons back on, make sure we put the Souls ring on, Chloranthy ring on, Ring of Blades and the Stone ring, all of our armor back on, get our spear ready, and get our magic resin ready. Now I do also take the chime off for this fight just for a little bit less weight on me, because it is going to be Rotten 2 in a higher NG. So we've got our spear again. Whoop, I missed it. Now I'm starting to panic. We've got to watch that NPC that's behind us. I resin as soon as I get in, which is probably not smart, to be honest. This overhead slam, that's the first time we've seen it in this run so far. Roll slightly to the right. I have been caught on it despite my timing of my roll has been perfect. I think I was a little too left. So just do a bit of a right roll for the overhead slam attack that we saw, guys. I think it's a lot safer. We've got the AoE again. His moves are quite easy to learn. It's just practice. But he can meme you, and I've taken some of the dumbest hits to him. Okay, here's our overhead slam. Now, with the overhead slam, to me it's an audio cue. You listen for the sound and watch his arm. As his arm is about to drop, roll a hard right, and then take 2 hits at him. You'll notice that I only ever take 1 to 2 hits at the rotten, never 3. I'm always keeping that stamina at a good amount in case we get the 3 attack and then a follow-up 3 attack. We don't want to get caught where we can't do a roll. So if you want to sort of analyze the fights a lot more in detail, please feel free to just watch it slower or multiple times. But honestly, the best thing is just practice, practice, practice. You'll notice I'm not being greedy. He hasn't got much left, but I'm going to wait. It's just not worth it, guys, to reset, you know. Just wait. Always waiting. Okay, so that's Rotten 2 done. And now we're going to make our way and grab the shoulder bonfire. Let's speed this back up. And this is why I grabbed the key, so I can just go straight here. We're not wasting bones or stuffing around. We're just going to get the shoulder bonfire straight away. Just be careful of your running through here too, guys. I've been memed where, you know how you have baby jump on your circle or B. I've baby jumped off this side before. I'm telling you, after 4.5 months of this run, you see every hit possible that can happen to you. Take it easy. Take it easy through here, guys. Don't run too hard. Once we light the shoulder bonfire, we're going to head back to Majula, pop our souls that we have. We're going to buy the other 2 bright bugs that we still had left at Malentia. I'll just slow this down a little bit, guys, in case people like to take notes, because I do when I watch guides. I'm taking notes. I'm like, you're speaking too fast. Hang on a minute. I gotta write all this down because Brutal has trash memory. We buy another 3 large Titanite shards, and then we upgrade the bow to its fullest that we can, so that will be a +7 also. Then we're going to head back to Majula. Put our chime back on and level up again with Emerald. So now we're leveling up to 46 ADP and 27 dexterity. Now if you slow that down, you'll see the 46 ADP and the 10 attunement has now put me to the hard cap of agility, which is 111. This is what we want for Rotten 3 and 4 and the rest of our boss fights in game, guys. So the 46 ADP, and I believe it was 27, right? Yep, 27 dexterity. All right, actually what we might do, guys, is we'll pause it at this spot at Shova, and we'll make a part 2 so that you guys can either practice this part so far. Basically, we're about a third into the game now, and then come back and watch part 2, or you can watch them in succession, of course, if you wish, and then do your whole route. But yeah, I'll see you guys in part 2.